We have a really big project coming up.
We do?
Babe.
What you? Oh, yeah. What's going on, family? Welcome to Cam's Corner. I am back with another tie down and wind down, and I am here with my wife, Erin. What's going on, babe?
Hi.
It's actually today, November 9th, Tuesday. You will be seeing this like right now.
Literally today.
So we're not drinking alcohol at
3 p.m.
3 o'clock. Yeah, it's not happening.
Yeah.
I know. I ain't judging if you do, but
right.
It's happy hour somewhere.
Yeah, it is. We have tea.
But we have tea. We got some
Peppermint
some
tea.
midday mint tea.
Yeah.
Go with the fall vibes.
Yeah, we like tea. I'm more of a tea drinker than he is, but he wakes up and drinks tea sometimes.
Yeah, in the morning sometimes I'll drink some.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're gonna. Recently we celebrated 1 year of home ownership, and we thought we should talk about the journey.
Yeah.
So we're gonna talk about how we found it, how we found where we live, the building process, and then everything else under the hood.
Yeah, home ownership.
Yeah.
After that, yeah.
So, actually, because you found it.
Yeah.
You want to tell the story?
So I think, yes, I found our house, but you guys, it was crazy because the year Cameron had been looking for a home for a while.
I think 4 years.
Yeah, you were looking for a while, and then things just weren't lining up. Like stuff was like the offers weren't being offered to him.
They weren't being accepted.
I mean, the offers weren't being accepted.
Yeah.
And so after a while, like, would you say you just were kind of like, okay, I'll just wait,
It wasn't more so a wait thing. I think I just kind of with it, like I am with everything. It was kind of like, well, something's gonna come.
Yeah.
I didn't know it would be this, but
Yeah.
I knew something would come.
Yeah. So when we were actually looking for Cameron to buy his own house, we had found this condo that.
No, let's just take it back further. I wasn't even thinking about being married. So.
Yeah, it was way before he was even considering being
way
married.
Before that.
But we were like just kind of looking. I would say that was when you were like first starting to look, and we saw the condo. I found the condo, remember, and I sent it to you.
But that was when we knew what was happening by then.
Okay, well we were like interested in being married.
No one was oblivious to the.
But we found this condo. We did not think we could afford it. We were just kind of like dreaming, like, oh my God, this condo is so nice. So by the time Cameron proposed, we were like, okay, we can afford the condo.
Yeah.
So we went to the condo place, and we would have been building the condo. And we went, and it was just an awful experience. Like, it was horrible. They were like, it was just a mess, y'all.
Yeah.
Like, we felt like we were being racially profiled, and we were being age profiled, like all the things. It was just like, they just weren't treating us with any respect.
Yeah.
So I was like low-key devastated because I really wanted to live in these condos, but it was like, it just wasn't working. So we were like, okay, we're just gonna have to find something else. So we had came to peace with letting that go. And then one day we went out to eat, and one of Cameron's like family friends hit him up and was like, do you guys want tickets to a Pistons game?
Yeah. So
we were like, okay. So we went to the Pistons game, and y'all, I was on a mission during halftime, or probably during the game.
No, you got
during
bored.
the whole game.
She got bored. Let's just call it what it is.
Losing, but
they won that game though.
Oh well. Anyway, I won because I was like looking, and I was like on page 16 of Realtor.com, and I found
no one
house.
Ever goes that far into. So if you're looking for a home and you think you are out of luck too, keep going to page 16.
I mean, like, keep going. Because so I showed it to Cameron, and he was like, oh, that's nice. So we drove past it that night. Like,
remember how foggy it was?
Yeah, it was so foggy that night. And so we were like, okay, we're just going to stop and drive past and see, like, where it is exactly. And we drove past, and we were like, oh, my God, this is perfect.
Yep.
And so but the weird thing is that, well, not weird, but like the thing of it was we didn't want to buy anything too far before we were going to get married, because we were going to get married in December. So this was like November of the year before.
Yeah.
And so we were like, well, I don't know, what are we gonna do? So we ended up we toured the house and we talked to the builder, and they were like, well, we have 4 or 5 other lots where you can build. And so we're like, okay, perfect, because if we build, we can pick out everything we want, and we don't have to like be in it until closer to us getting married.
Right.
So that's how we found the house.
Yeah, which that worked out. Took it to a Pistons game. She got bored. I guess.
But don't make it seem like I don't be liking basketball. I
She like
basketball,
but she do be. She depending on who playing. Who I think was it Houston.
I don't know, but I was just
she
so
wasn't into
focused
she wasn't
on
into the
finding
game
this
day.
house. Yes.
She actually she had a walking taco, and after she ate
Oh,
this
I had 2.
Yeah, you did. After she had this walking taco, the game was no longer interesting to her.
Yeah.
So and she found the builder, I should say. It was a house up. It was
it was like a spec home basically.
Yeah. So she found that, and then that same night we left the arena, came over this way, viewed the
Contacted
area.
our realtor immediately.
That same night.
Yeah, she scheduled the showing
for that
the
weekend.
next day, or
It was close to the weekend. I think.
Yeah,
it was,
and then we signed the paperwork like within a week's time.
Yeah.
So
it was crazy.
Very fast. And then we started the building process. So now we should probably.
Now we're into that's February now at this time.
Yeah, so February we broke ground.
Yeah, February we broke ground.
End of February.
And the first meeting, amazing. Like the builder on board with everything that we wanted to do. He was enthusiastic. He was like, you can do what you want to do as long as you're paying, but
right.
You can do whatever it is you want to do. And we were like, all right, cool, bet. So the pandemic happened. And unfortunately, no work was done for like a month and maybe a week or 2. And it seemed like everything just shifted. And,
rightfully
so. No one, we never experienced this, no one. So, downside to this all is there were things that we wanted and we had in our contract that because they had to get new workers, new contractors, it just wasn't fulfilled.
It just started getting real messy.
Yeah. It was kind of like he was frustrated. Like I said, people weren't working, and I think that was the biggest downside.
Yeah.
Other than that, it was a great experience.
Yeah, the process just wasn't streamlined. Like we were told that we were gonna have a walkthrough once the ground was poured, a walkthrough after it was framed, well, not a walkthrough when the ground is poured, but because we can't go down there, but a walkthrough once it's framed, a walkthrough for electricity, a drywall walkthrough, and we didn't have any, we felt like we were constantly plucking at the builder, asking, okay, what's going on? We were sending updates. And then with our house, because we got a lot of stuff, how we wanted it. So we got our own backsplash. We picked out a lot of our finishes, and we went with a smaller builder, not like a Pulte or a Toll Brothers who have big showrooms with tons of finishes and options that you can pick from. They instead work with vendors. In layman's terms,
our builder does not have an Instagram or any social media.
Yeah, so we had to go to their flooring company and go there and pick out the flooring, go to the tile shop and pick out the tiles and blah, blah, blah.
Everything was kind of a la carte.
So it was cool because we could get our home custom and we didn't only have 3 options, level 1, level 2, level 3 to pick from. But it was annoying because,
there were 2 things
it was a lot of things just all over the place,
And I feel like that really happened because they were sticking to schedule before the pandemic. So that's why I said I feel like we gave them grace. We gave ourselves grace through that time. So, that was the downside though.
Yeah, it was.
As expected, this is our first time buying a house and then we built it. Yeah. So we had a whole bunch of learning. There's always 2 sides to a story. So on our side, obviously we weren't educated on any of this.
Yeah.
So, but.
Yeah, and we did have an interior designer who helped us too with picking out some of our finishes, like our backsplash, our lighting, paint color, like stuff like that. She was very helpful with that. Her name's Candace Mary, so I'll leave her information in the description. So that was helpful, because I would say too, like, that can be overwhelming when you are building, is like the options and just trying to figure out how something is going to look, even though you can't see it all together. So it's like, is this gonna look right with that? Or is that gonna look right with this? So that was another kind of struggle. Instead of like seeing something that's already finished. Yeah. Instead of seeing something that's already finished, where it's like, oh, I like this, and you just kind of go with whatever is in there. Yeah. When you're picking out yourself, it's just like, but I like this light fixture, but no, I like that light fixture.
And there's just me.
Yeah. And he's like, I like both. And I'm just like, wait, pick one, please.
No, you were sending me definitely more than 2 options, by far. Anyway.
So there's that, ladies. If you're building, just the options can become overwhelming.
Yeah. Well, if you pick a builder that allows you to do whatever it is you want to do.
Yeah. But even if you don't, like, there's still sometimes they have the options for you. If that was the case, I feel like we probably would have gone with everything pretty much like level 1 and then upgraded as we wanted.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, our builder, it wasn't like
there
wasn't a limit.
Right. But I will say, stuff that I regret getting upgrades was this feature wall. I wish we did it. I think we should have just waited until the house was done to get that done. This one, the fireplace wall. But stuff like electrical, like the under cabinet lighting, I'm glad we got. Yeah. Like we made sure all of our lighting down here was recessed lighting, which was great, because, you know,
the spec home had like bulb lighting.
Yeah, weird lights.
Yeah.
So stuff like that you know you're not gonna want to switch. And we wanted vaulted ceilings in our master bedroom, which they told us would be standard, but
it was in our contract.
Yeah, that was in our contract. And once we got the house, like once they framed it, it wasn't.
But remember, I was like, this doesn't look like. Yeah. But I couldn't. I mean, I'm not a builder, so I have no way of actually knowing. But by the time they drywalled, I was like, yeah, we could tell.
And it was too late at that point. Yeah. So just making sure all the dots and T's are crossed. And we didn't talk about this, the fact that we looked through our contract, like the thing that told everything that came with the house, and they were trying to charge us more than what was in our contract. So please, I'm begging you, read the documents, especially if you're building a house. They're gonna try to, like, for us, they gave us basically like stipends. So like for our flooring, it might be $2 per square foot.
Well, what they did was, because they had changed their stuff after we contracted ours, they changed it for the rest of the other houses, 3 lots.
And they tried to tack that onto us. So like our shower, we wanted a seamless door. They tried to charge us for that, but that was included. Yep. They tried to give us half of the stipend for our flooring, for our towels. Yep. So like we were making sure that we were holding them accountable for all of the stuff that.
Right. But that I would call that an upside that we read.
Yeah.
Because I feel like
But the thing is, we read because they started messing up so much. So you was like, let me look through this. And I looked through that found a whole bunch of stuff.
That same night, I'm like, I don't trust this anymore. So, yeah. I was on it after that.
Yeah. So that's what we mean. Like, it got kind of hairy. I mean, obviously, it was the pandemic. And then we're first-time home buyers and builders. So it was just a lot to learn.
But all in all.
But I'm glad we went through that.
Yeah. Like, I feel like for the next home that we build, we're going to know, first of all, I'm sure we'll know way more. But we'll be able to stand our ground in a different way. Like, we had to kind of be a little bit of me. Well, I had to be a little bit of me.
He's always the one who's a little bit mean.
But, you know, going forward, I think that we did learn a lot. I feel like anytime it's something first, it's kind of like expected, you know. It's not going to be perfect, and there's always going to be more that we can have or we're going to want. I mean, look at everything that we did. Right. But speaking of everything that we did, we talked about how we found it, the building processes, and
now homeownership.
Homeownership. What's your favorite thing about homeownership?
Making it a home. I really like, just having our own space, it being how we want it, decorating it how we want it, having people over and hosting and just like making memories here. So that's my favorite part. What's yours?
I think my favorite part is the fact that I get to take care of the entire house. Like,
You do a really good job at it too.
thank you.
I mean, we work as a team.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but you do like cutting the grass and
Yeah. All the hard stuff. No, but it's actually really, I don't know. I feel like because it's mine, I'm like, I don't ever want it to be, I feel like things that I do, it has to represent me. And I feel like that's how I'm represented.
Yeah.
So, and plus, I you know how I am. I don't think that I can get anything better or get the next thing until I completely own what I do
Take
have.
care of
and,
what you have.
Yeah. So.
It's so funny because when we first moved, we would be walking around and we'd be like, oh, their grass is really nice. Our grass looks better, though. And it was so funny because it's like, we never, ever paid attention
remember
to
that one
grass.
time, I think I became that guy who really loves his grass.
But yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I guess, what do you think that the hardest part is about being a homeowner?
The hardest part? I think keeping up with everything in terms of like the stuff you don't think about on the day to day, like your furnace, making sure your filter is changed out. This is stuff that you neither care or
Never
pay
think
attention
about.
But so I'm sure your answer is different. But that obviously doing all the calls for any repairs and maintenance.
Yep, definitely don't do that either. Bills.
The bills.
Yeah.
So I mean, from my point of view, those are all the things that, you know, I guess has been, I would say, just more of a learning curve.
Yeah.
It's way more of a responsibility now, which is cool. I like it. I feel like an adult now.
Yeah, I would say I'm getting there. I mean, I guess really the biggest things that I do is like, I feel like making sure that we're keeping everything stocked, like food, toiletries, you know, keeping like the kitchen and the main space clean. We both clean a lot though, so that's not hard. Like we both want to be in a clean space.
I'm pretty
so
sure we
I'm
clean
glad
every day.
about that.
We're cleaning something every day. Yeah.
So that's really my main task at hand is just, you know, keeping things clean and keeping us fed. So, and decorating, spending the money, you know.
Whew.
But yeah, it's been fun. I mean, we did get a few questions. I'm going to pull some up. Okay, someone asks, do you feel like your home is completely decorated?
No. And I say that because I know my wife doesn't think it's completely decorated.
Definitely not. I would say the downstairs is probably 90% good. Like I have a few more projects that I want to, you know, tackle. The mud room, this feature wall needs to be redone. Like, you know,
I'm going to tell you this.
And the half bathroom. I want to just really go crazy with that.
To my guys.
A home is never finished.
No. You might as well chalk it up now.
And once it's finished, you're going to be ready to move. So. No, we're not.
And she's going to like something, and then she's going to be like, actually, I want something different. After she only had it for 2 weeks. So, proceed.
Whatever. Okay. Do you regret building so young as first-time homeowners, or do you encourage it?
I don't suggest building for first home. I think first of all, I'm not going to say we did it first or anything like that, but ever since we did build, I have noticed that a whole bunch of, I've seen other people do so as well, so I don't know what their take on it is or what their learning experiences were, but I would definitely just buy a house first. Yeah. Because I feel like it's just, it's a whole lot of learning that first you have to buy it, and then everything about building the house. It was quite overwhelming. Yeah. It was. So I would definitely say just get you a house first.
And you have less control over the timeline. Like at least if you're buying a home that's already done, especially if it's your first home. Like if you were like us where we just got married and we were just moving together for the first time from our parents' homes, like we didn't want to, it was too stressful waiting. So it does depend on your scenario. I would say this though. Do not settle on a home. Get the home that you when you open that door, when you pull up, like, and you open that door, it's like, oh my God, this is it.
It actually did happen for me once, but I didn't. The offer didn't get accepted. Well, my offer didn't get accepted.
Yeah. So when we walked into our house, well, not technically our house, but the house that looks like our house, that's like the model house, we were like, oh my God, this is it. So you need to have that feeling. Let's see. How do you hang your pictures up? Do you want to tell how we did the gallery wall? It was quite a task, I will say.
It's actually back there.
Yeah.
Right over there. So, I kind of just measured it out. I think I got 2-inch gaps in between to give it some spacing. I did the middle first, and then I just kind of did the corners and lined everything up. It was a very eventful day.
Yeah, I put the pictures in.
Great job, babe.
Okay. How long did it take to build?
Like 6-7 months.
Yep. Excluding the 1 month that wasn't being built. So it was like 8 months
About 8 months total, yeah.
Yeah. What has been your favorite decor project so far? It's interesting because it's not really projects right now. Because really this stuff is just like furnishings. So I feel like maybe our master bedroom would be a really fun project. I mean, I don't think we're going to do too much in there. But maybe either that or when we do our half bath. I would say my office has been fun, though.
Wait, what was the question?
What has been my favorite home decor project?
Well, you're saying what you're going to do. What was your favorite
one? But I was just saying, like, I don't know if we've had any projects yet. I mean, would you say this whole thing was a project?
I mean,
I guess. I would maybe say my office, because my office I didn't really have any help with. Like, this area we had a little bit of help with, but my office I didn't. So I would say that.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was like a long answer for no reason.
Yeah, it really was. What's the next question?
Okay, did you all go the traditional route to homeownership as far as the amount you had saved up, and also how you managed debt? Was there any kind of challenge being that you're a full-time entrepreneur and getting approved?
Well, I'm not a full-time entrepreneur, so that's how we got approved.
Yeah.
So
see, good for you can't knock the corporate jobs, y'all.
Yeah, so I still work a full-time job, and just got the house.
Yeah.
So we don't have to worry about any solo entrepreneurship, I guess.
Hiccups,
yeah.
It's possible, but you need 2 years of bank statements and proof of income. I was just hitting 2 years, and it would have been okay, but we rather just done it under Cameron's name.
Yeah. So
as far as how much we saved up and how you managed debt, we saved a good amount.
Well, I've been trying to buy a house for 4 years, so I've had a home saving for quite some time, so it didn't do anything but increase as the L's commenced.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we also didn't have a huge wedding, so like.
And I also stayed at home with my parents and literally until I bought this house.
Yeah. And I stayed at home too. So like both of our savings were pretty robust by the time we moved. And, a lot of that also went toward furnishing the home. So I would also recommend like not being house broke and buying a home just because you get pre-approved for a certain amount, and then like you put 20% down or however much you choose to put down, and then you have like nothing left to buy furniture. So make sure that you like take all of that into account. We definitely
not even just that, but your like sometimes closing costs they're not official on what's said. They can be lower or they can increase. So you want to keep yourself prepared for that when you actually go to close on the property.
And then how we managed debt, we didn't have debt. So
Well, you got your loans
I got
paid
my
off.
student loans paid off by the United Negro College Fund.
I also had a scholarship to school.
Yeah,
so
Cameron didn't have college debt.
Yeah.
So we didn't really have like really any debt.
We've been blessed in those ways, and
Yes,
they're
thank you,
definitely very
Jesus.
grateful for that. So.
Okay, so if you could go back and change one specific detail in your gorgeous home, what would that detail be? What detail would you change?
You go first, because no one's gonna like my answer.
What detail would I change? I would probably change our master. I would want the vaulted ceilings. That would be like the thing that I would definitely change.
Oh, speaking of okay, they might like this one, or you might like this one. I really wanted the overhead, the double action shower heads.
The rainfall shower.
Yeah, the rainfall shower. Aside that though, it's not really a miss out. I guess I could have got it, but I really want, and I'll say that for our next house.
3-car garage.
Not just 3-car garage, but I want the door. I want that.
The cool garage.
Yeah, I want my garage to, like I said, I'll have that in next, but I want my garage to have that showroom look. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
How long? This is a good question. How long did it take for it to really start feeling like home?
I don't know. I feel like probably a month.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would probably say when we got our couch and our bed and like unpacked everything. Because it was a while before our furniture kind of dripped in.
I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm not looking at it from a furnished
Well, yeah, that's true.
standpoint, but
yeah. I would, yeah, a month,
it definitely felt like
month.
mine. I felt like after I paid our first
mortgage.
I was like, this is our house. So.
Yeah. Yeah, it felt like home, but I would say now it really feels like home.
Yeah, it's...
You know, yeah. I think when you say really, I would say once like more of the furniture came in, because we were sleeping on a mattress on the floor. Our stuff was still packed up halfway in suitcases / bins, and like we didn't have a couch.
It was crazy.
So, you know, I would say about 6 months. All right, y'all.
All right, one last question.
Let's see. What made you guys choose homeownership instead of renting? What are some pros? Oh, we already went through pros and cons. Okay. What was your strategy for interior designing each room?
We haven't done every room. I mean, with where we are right now, we had Candace, and she picked out the lights, the backsplash, I think the rugs.
Yeah, both rugs. Yeah, it was a mixture of our flavor. Like we looked on Pinterest and Instagram and found a lot of things.
The real way we did it is we put both of our tastes together. Like we made Pinterest boards and then we clashed them, and then Candace came in and said, "All right,"
helped us pick things out that went with our style.
So it's like a little bit of both of us.
How would you describe our style?
I don't have all the names and stuff. You know, I don't know all the names.
I would say it's like modern Art Deco meets cozy. Like,
and I don't know what.
Because like I feel like, you know, we have modern. It's kind of clean, but it's like warm and cozy. You know,
it's definitely warm.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely warm.
So
but
that.
You got your office. I have mine.
Yeah.
We have projects we will do next year. As far as this year,
we have a really big project coming up.
We do?
Babe.
What you? Oh, yeah. Oh, well, that's not... Okay, but we do... All right, we do have a huge project coming up, so stay tuned for that. But anyway, thanks for joining in. I think that homeownership is great. I feel like, you know, especially when you're doing it with your best teammate, whomever that may be to you, that it can be amazing.
Yeah, I feel like we went through that process of building, And it was just like, oh, we got this, you know? Like, we were leading up into marriage, and it was just like...
It kind of gave us that sense of, like...
Okay, we can do this.
We dope
like,
for real, you know what I mean?
So it was worth it in the end, because when we closed on our house and came in for the first time after it was ours, it was just like, it was worth it, even though
we got them keys.
Craziness.
We got them keys. We came in this door. We was like, oh, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, I was picking up boxes for the next 2 days.
Yeah, it was a lot of work. So.
But yeah, homeownership is great, and let me know your experience if you have bought a home or if you desire to buy one, or you can just ask a question that we didn't answer, and I'll be glad to answer you. So, with that being said, if you rock with me, then you rock with us. I'll see you next time.